Thank you, Chairman Gray, members of the Senate Finance Committee. For the record, my name is Representative Jonah O'Ryan Wheeler, and I represent the towns of Peterborough and Sharon. And I'm here as a co-sponsor in favor of following the United States Constitution. And that sounds like a political talking point, sounds almost pedantic, but it is 100% true. As Representative Mannion just mentioned, the United States has been engaged in military conflicts, some would call them a war, without the official declaration of war since 1942. That has included Korea and Vietnam, Syria, Lebanon, Iraq, and many more countries, which, again, have been decimated by actions taken by this government without the constitutional authority of the United States Congress. So what can we, the people, do about the fact that the federal government of our United States, or these United States, is seemingly not paying any attention to the founding documents which give it the public trust, the authority by which it enacts about $3.5 trillion worth of a budget every year? Well, what we can do is go to our state legislators, who have the power over the National Guard men and women who are serving our state, and say those men and women will not be used in unconstitutional, some would call illegal wars. And this isn't from the peaceniks of those students in the Vietnam era or the hippies of the past anti-war movements that we have seen. As Representative Mannion spoke to, this is from the soldiers who have fought and died in these illegal wars, who remember the brothers and sisters that they brought home in body bags, shot with little justification whatsoever from the leadership of the country, which they still to this day would fight to serve. So I am here as a co-sponsor and as a representative who wants this country to follow its constitutional obligations because, number one, it does not help us on the world stage to be fighting immoral, by virtue illegal wars. It has actually demolished our national security on the world stage and made us the war machine of the world. And if that's what the United States wants to be, then that's what the United States can be. But that is not the moral superiority which is talked about in many discussions regarding foreign policy that our country has. And B, number two, it's the right thing to do by the soldiers who are, I can't even imagine the level of service. I mean, I believe in service to this country as a legislator, as an individual. When I speak to someone like Representative Mannion or any of the many other representatives who have served wars like Vietnam and others, Desert Storm, I think about the military actions that they undertook and the fact that they've fought here in the legislature for a long time for the United States to continue to follow its Constitution. And I think the least that I could do for them as a citizen of this country who equally as believes in this Constitution would be to support legislation withholding our troops that we have power over from going out into these illegal wars without the authorization of Congress, which would be the legal process by which the founders of our country set to declare war. So I'm not scared of the military-industrial complex's threats of removal of funds because of the points that Representative Mannion brought up, those being those funds aren't going to be removed. I'd like to see a United States Congress that attempted to strike the funding of a National Guard branch entirely out of the one state in particular. I think that would set up constitutional and other kinds of issues that would be far beyond than that one piece of legislation. And I think that ultimately the lives of these soldiers and men are not these military equipment, this tarmac, the guns, and the weaponry is not worth more than the lives of these soldiers who are fighting and dying for our country in wars that are illegally authorized. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Questions from the senators? Seeing none, thank you very much. Friedman, Audrey?